Hi, I'm Paulina.
Hi, I'm Bricia.
And we're sisters, friends, daughters, wives, and business owners.
And we're just following our dreams, working to be a better version of ourselves every day. All right. And we're also moms.
Welcome to the Super Mama Sisterhood.
Welcome to the show, Lalo.
Thank you.
Now, is your name Eduardo or?
It is Eduardo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you went with Lalo.
Went with Lalo friend in...
How old were you when you were just Lalo and nothing else?
Well, when I was a kid, I was Eddie.
Oh.
And then I was Eduardo. Uh-huh. And then at Berkeley, my friends started calling me Lalo, so I became Lalo.
Oh.
And then just stuck, right? See,
Yeah.
this is exact. So I don't like nicknames. I am not like a nickname person. My husband, my son's name is Eduardo.
Uh-huh.
And I remember in Mexico, they're like, "Oh, Lalito." I'm like, "No, stop right there. Stop." His name is Eduardo.
You can't stop
And at
the
school, no.
Mexican national pastime of nicknaming.
And at school, I make sure, everywhere I say, no, he can only be called by his full name. I don't want Eddie. I don't want anything that's, because at some point you stop being your name and you become this other. Anyway, let's start with our questions.
That's why nicknaming magic is very powerful.
That's what I'm saying. Like it kind of like robs you of your identity, I think.
Yeah. My husband's favorite pastime is giving nicknames to people. So
Well, he's Mexican.
It's the national
he's from DF, so
Mexican pastime. You cannot avoid it. I mean,
Lalo.
Lalo is stands for Eduardo, Gerardo, Eulalio, Abelardo. I mean, how lazy are Mexican nicknames? They ran out of nicknames.
I think it was just this kid who couldn't know how to say Eduardo, and he's like, "¿Cómo te llamas?" He was like, "Lalo."
Oh, yeah,
and like it
that's
just stuck. Whoever that kid
That is my theory
That's what happened
too.
to our brother. Remember, he couldn't say his name. His name is Fernando, and he couldn't say his name was a little kid. He would say Chinano, so not everybody would call him Chinano. Chinano.
Beautiful.
That was his name until
See,
recently.
he identified
Until
himself.
recently, I've always
people
called him
will have to
Fernando.
still call him Chinano.
Like 3 people,
The
probably.
anti-nicknamer over
I know,
here
I'm
is
telling
like-
you.
I mean, anyway,
Well,
let's just start.
Well, wait. My legal name is Edward, Eduar, because my parents didn't speak English, and luckily I wasn't Junior because my dad's name was Edmundo. So thank you for that. But my real name is Edward because it sounds kind of close.
You do look like a
Wait,
network.
it's not even with a W. It's
No,
like
with a
Eduardo.
U, yeah.
Edward.
Like we can
Oh,
afford
it's missing an O.
the D or the O. They can afford it, so they're on layaway somewhere.
I would own that. Eduardo? Eduardo? No. Eduardo.
I prefer Lalo, seriously.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I'm already having fun.
Wow. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Do you have kids? Who do you live with? And what's keeping you busy these days?
None of your business. I have
None of your business again.
I have 3 kids.
How old are they?
And they are.
How old are they?
They are now. They're grown up, high school and college age.
Now let's talk about what's keeping you busy these days, because you have a lot going on.
Yes, I'm empire building. That's why I told this book agent this morning.
No big deal.
Because
I was talking to this book agent this morning.
He told me this. I know I'm a good dropper of
course. You si no
self-aggrandizing
tú
things because
quién?
nobody else does it.
Exactly. That's what I always say.
Good for you, Lalo.
Somebody told me last year or 2 years ago, own it, Lalo. Own where you're at.
100%.
And I said, duh, yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Drop the mic. Si no tú quién?
Yeah.
For real.
So I was telling this book agent today, a very fancy man. That he's like, you got a lot on your plate. You sure you want to do this book that you're talking about? I'm like, dude, I'm a multitasker. And we're empire building here. Doing it all. We're going to do it all.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
right.
For sure.
Good
Good
for
for
you.
you.
So I'm busy working on a show called The Casagrandes on Nickelodeon. And it's probably the first multi-generational family and probably the first animated Latino anything really on TV. And
I want to say it's not just Latino, but specifically Mexican family.
Yes, it's definitely, we make a point of pointing out that it is a Mexican and Mexican-American family. There's all types in it. There's immigrants. There's little chicanitos. There's little pochitas. There's adults that are born first generation. You know, there's everything. We have a lot that's set in a big city. We strive when we have to create new characters. I push for other Latino nationalities to be included. You know, that's a thing. Like, let's put some Central American characters. We have a Salvadoran family that I helped create for the show. And there's Puerto Ricans. We have a Cuban dad. We have everything. So we're striving to
diversity.
Be very diverse within our Latino group, and also, and we have other ethnicities that are represented too, especially half Asians.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's
I
so
love
funny.
that.
I love the show. It's so funny when I was. There was a scene that I love. I always like the grandma's the funniest, right? All the time.
Yeah.
And the grandma, and I think about my mom because now she's a grandma.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, grandmas are funny with their comebacks when they talk to the kids. They're just funny, and I love that the grandma on the show. It's like, I mean, I'm not gonna say she remind me of my mom because then she'll get upset.
But it did.
But it kind of did. She does. She still, you know, se rehúsa.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I get to write these texts from abuela. It's like they're calling them like wisdom from abuela, and they are texts that you could sign up for. And I wish I knew the number you could text right now. I'd do a really good plug for it right now.
We'll find it. We'll put it in the show notes. If not, we'll plug it in a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. And so it's great to write in her voice.
Yeah.
Because she's a very active character, and she runs everything. She's the matriarch. Early on, when we were developing the show with the Loud House, which is Loud House was the show it spun off from, and I can tell you that whole story.
Let's go for it.
Ronnie Ann Santiago is the main character of Casagrandes, and her story is she moves from from Royal Woods, the suburb where the Loud House is, to the big city, Great Lakes City, which is kind of a Chicago type city. And so, but back in the Loud House, she became a super popular character. She was a skateboarder, a little tomboy. She was a little rough around the edges, and she liked to prank everybody. She was very active and adorable little brown girl, and she just popped. And so they decided to take her small family and boost it up to a spinoff. And so it's been quite a journey from those days. That's where I first started working with Nickelodeon on this show. So I'm really excited that it took off as a successful spinoff.
Yeah, I love it because it's very relatable to what we live right now. Right, a household that speaks two languages, that not necessarily all fully in English, not all fully in Spanish. Like, it's a mix of everything. It's a mix of like different musics, different ages. People have different tastes. They're in different parts of their lives, and it's just a mix. And for the kids, it's like, oh, this is what my house looks like, and it's not necessarily, you know, something in one kind of people. It's just like a diversity within a household. And I really like that.
That's what we really wanted to show. And nothing really focuses more than when we do casting and when we're in. I get to supervise. Supervise is a loaded word. I'm at every recording checking people's accents and sometimes writing new dialogue
as they go
on the fly. And just people look to me to make sure that, you know, the content is on track and it makes sense, it's authentic. Even when we had a really famous Asian American actor come in who was Korean, and for an upcoming spot on the show, and I would tell you, but we're not supposed to divulge these until they come out.
Got it.
Anyway, this guy got up to the mic. Hadn't really been prepped by the show as far as what is this character exactly. And he said, now, and it was like, you could cut the tension in the room with a knife. And he said, you know, how do you want me to do this accent? Because I could do it like this voice. And then he went into like a really super thick, cartoony, stereotypical Asian accent. and everyone just kind of laughed and kind of. I said, "Can I speak?" And I said, our goal in the show is to, if it's appropriate, if the character's an immigrant, might have an accent, might have a light accent, maybe a heavy accent. But if they're born here and they're fluent and they're bilingual, then they should speak English perfectly and pronounce Spanish exquisitely. And that's our goal, because we want little kids to hear Spanish properly spoken. And then everybody in the room, I could feel, went, whew. And I'm not the Asian cultural consultant for the show, but I'm the cultural consultant, and I earned my money that day. And then he went on.
Like,
and
actually
did
charged
great
overtime that day?
Yeah, I stole a little extra snacks.
I do love a good craft service, though, when they are taping.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite thing.
Oh, no, we have... it's nice to work. Nickelodeon is... it has the feel of a TV production, but it's also kind of corporate on the other end, you know? And so they have really nice facilities. And
It's always good to have good snacks, man.
yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Can you tell us, like, what does it mean to be a consultant? Like, what is your job for the show?
Well, I'm a lot of things. I'm cultural consultant and I'm consulting producer. So the cultural consultant part means I joke I'm Mexican quality control. Like, I make sure that the accents are right, that the words are correct. I help write dialogue if needed, and they ask me for stuff. They send me out on promotional things like Super Mamas, awesome podcast. I do promotion. I do help them with marketing if need be. And I do it all as far as it's, casting suggestions, casting ideas, story ideas, everything. And in an ideal world, all of Nickelodeon would be filled with at least 25% Latinos, like compared to the population, but it's not right now. Hollywood is not like that. So, but we have a 47% Latino crew on Casagrandes, which is probably the biggest in in Hollywood right now.
That's
so I get lucky in working on the shows like that, like Border Town. We had like 5 Latino writers on Border Town, which was on Fox for a season. Coco, we had 100% Latino casting on Coco, so I get lucky that way. Now, the consulting producer part is kind of the title for just anybody that helps out on a show that is on the writer's side a little bit. So I get to write once in a while, write a freelance episode. I write these other things, like I was saying, the text from Abuela. I write I wrote a podcast where we wrote a song about learning Spanish.
It's the vlog.
There's a vlog also.
Yeah.
The vlog has like these animated kind of they call them puppets, so it's not like the full animation from the show, but it's like Ronnie Ann and Lincoln talking. We just did one where Ronnie Ann helps Lincoln with her Spanish homework.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think that one's out already.
Yeah, I think so.
So I get to write and help on lots of different things. It's really cool.
Every show had a Latino
You're damn right.
quality control, because sometimes I'm like, oh my God, did they just say that?
You know what I do love, though? Earlier you were mentioning about bringing other cultures into the show, primarily as a Mexican family.
Yeah.
But I think it's so important today to actually showcase the diversity that we have within the Latino community, because I think that is one thing that people just do not understand. That, I love, Cristela said something on Twitter the other day, there isn't a country called Latinolandia. Like, it's not like there's a country like, look, this is where Latin is, and this is where all the Latino and Latina people come from. Like, Latin is an actual language, and it's not, it's not a race per se. I don't know, but the idea of adding more attention or to the diversity within our community, I think today is very, very important, because, and even within each community, like even within Mexican communities, like there's so much diversity. I mean, we're from Oaxaca. Where's your family
you guys are
from?
the ambassadors from Oaxaca. You're like,
if they need a Oaxacan consultant in the next episode, let me know. But Your family is from what part of Mexico?
My mom's side is from Sinaloa, so El Chapo is my uncle.
Obviously.
And in the other side, my dad's side is from Zacatecas. So
My sister-in-law is from Zacatecas.
So is my husband's half. My husband's half
every
Zacatecas
other
and
Mexican
Sonoran.
in LA is from Zacatecas. And every other Mexican in San Diego
Jalisco.
is from Sinaloa.
There you go.
So,
Very, very different than, being Mexican from Oaxaca, and very different experiences also being
Totally.
Mexican American, being Chicano, than being first generations or
Yes.
being an immigrant. It depends on what year you were born, right? It's just so much diversity within our culture, the way
That's
we
right.
speak, the way we think. I mean, even when I speak to my sister, our youngest sister, she is, in her mid-20s, and her idea of a Mexican identity is so different than ours.
yeah.
She was 2 when she moved here, and we were.
I was 13.
She was already going into teenage years, and and I was 10, and it's a different world, and I think that every story is very unique, but it's very important to tell because there's millions of people like you, millions of people like me, millions of Cuban Americans, Puerto Ricans, Central American, hundreds, Central Americans, Colombians, there's just so much.
Dozens.
And dozens in LA maybe, but in the country. And I think and I just think it's just so important. So I think what you said was really good. And also another thing that you mentioned that really, I think struck a chord with me was just the idea of showing Mexican American family being a matriarchal family.
Oh, thank you. Abuelo here forgot.
Well,
that
obviously
was the
you don't have an abuela here next to you to tell you what you think.
That was the point I was trying to make earlier. That the wait, what did you just say? The
Matriarch.
A matriarchal family.
Abuela is on top. She's
Yes.
not only the building supervisor,
Yeah.
she fixes everything, and that's like a joke. She will lift the couch up with
Yeah, I saw
a big bicep, and she's literally a strong woman.
Yes.
But I mean, she's running everyone's life, and so. It's good to inject a little bit of as much realism, as we can, and so it rings
Without feeding
true.
stereotypes, I'm assuming, right? There's a difference between being realistic and then a difference between feeding into what America thinks we are.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're never going to get into a super negative thing on our show, but I strive for that in all my work. So it's my level of, showing. I'm not against stereotypes. I think I like to think of them as archetypes instead. Like the abuela, you could say, oh, the abuela that's like bossy is a stereotype. So no, it's archetype.
No, you know what I think is a stereotype?
It's a real thing.
I think what I think is a stereotype, and I think, I've gone to realize this more as I get older and wiser, is that there's a stereotype about the macho Mexican man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even though it's true, I mean, my father is the epitome of what you consider a macho, jealous, whatever you think of a macho Mexican, that's my dad to the T. Like,
No
he
wonder
fits
we got
every
along
description.
so well at the party.
Yeah, and hides it very well too, But then, in the same, it's really interesting. The dichotomy of Mexicanism is that yes, you have this very strong male presence, but you have even a stronger female presence
Yeah.
because who really runs the home and who really kind of
Keeps the family
keeps it
together.
together.
Yeah.
It's
the woman.
the female energy.
Yes.
It is the mother.
Always, yeah.
So to have these two characters, characters are really people in your life, in your home as you grow up, whether you grow up female, male, in between, you kind of you kind of grow up seeing this thing. It's like there can be a strong man, but there can be just a strong woman at the same time. And I think there's also this this kind of misconception that the woman with a macho man has to be this timid woman and whatever, but it's the complete opposite. I think Mexico in general as a country is run by abuelas, by women, these women who I always say they have single-handedly kept the culture alive. If it wasn't for these women, our culture will be lost through food, through art, through stories. Our
culture would just
women.
be cantinas.
I I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is just there's this idea that women are the ones who hold down the fort culturally.
Yeah,
in Mexico
true.
and in a lot of countries, really. I think maybe just I think even if you think about the Korean culture, the Chinese culture, a lot of these.
I'm not messing with any of those abuelas.
Oh no! I'm messing with a Korean
Or
grandma
mamas.
for sure. But like it's and I love that you really made a strong character, and it's not just like haha the funny abuela, but it's real. It's like she's the one who holds everything down.
Yeah, it's all rooted in authenticity. Miguel Puga is our creative director, creative producer on our show, and he's a young man. He's the one that got me hired. He told them, I studied Lalo in college, so you need to hire him. And so he brought me on the show, but he was originally with the Loud House, and it's all his family or all the people that they use for the way the characters look, and also for their personalities. For most of them, and especially for the abuela, is his mom.
Yeah.
He says the combination of his mom and his abuela is all in that character. And that's why it resonates, and that's why kids... we're doing very well in the ratings. I cannot give the exact numbers. We're doing super good. I joke that when our show runs on the weekend, we are the #1 Latino show on television unless the Raiders play.
Right. I believe that. I believe that.
So we're doing really good, and we're always the first or second kids show if we run on the weekends, which is a lot. You know, that's like it's resonating
There's
with
so much
the
content out there,
kids
too.
Yeah, and we write stuff that the show's funny.
It is
so
super funny.
We write stuff for the parents. So because I lived through 10
Thank you.
years of Nickelodeon back in the in the 2000s. So I really appreciate seeing some like humor. It's not it's not off color. Once in a while we might sneak something in. I don't know. It's not on purpose. It's just the way it comes out. But there's something. It's co-viewing for the adults, and so they enjoy it. And sadly, like I said, it's the #1 Latino show. It's like the only Latino show as far as I'm concerned.
I'm sure there will be plenty more to follow. I want
Yes.
to talk about one thing before we finish and going into just where we can watch it. Why do Latinos love having birds? No, okay, so we didn't grow up having birds.
Yeah.
Balina and I, our family never had growing up birds. Like my grandma killed a chicken every weekend. If anything,
That's your pet.
that was our pet. And, like she murdered that thing in front of us every Sunday.
Cut the head.
Cut
right
the
in
head
front of
while
us.
looking at us
Did
at
you
the same
spin it?
time. My friends in high school, however, I would go to their home and they all had birds and they all had a parrot. And I always tell my mom, like, hey, like, I think mom at some point wanted she have a bird.
My tia Noemi has a parrot, and that parrot,
That's right.
she talks and she has a full
Oh, yeah.
conversation with you.
And I kind of wanted,
she
and I
recites-
low key
they
wanted.
recite Bible verses too.
That's right. I kind of low key wanted.
That parrot is the most un-Mexican sounding parrot I've ever heard.
I
Because
like-
most Mexican parrots are like, "Chinga tu madre."
Yeah, I kind of low key wanted to get a parrot, and my husband was like, "Why?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know if it's the Latino in me. Like, what's happening? I'm getting older, and all of a sudden, it's like something inside me wants a bird. Like, tell us about why? Why do we love having
Because we
birds?
don't want to feel lonely.
All
I
of
mean,
the
I have a
above.
dog.
All of the above. It's funny. There was we have on Casagrandes we have Sergio, the sass talking parrot, voiced by Carlos Alisraki, who was on Reno 911. He's the Taco Bell Chihuahua. He's everything, and it's hilarious. And he became like a character that we could actually kind of like beat up and abuse, and he's a jerk, he's like very self-centered, and he doesn't cuss because it's Nickelodeon. But yeah, all the Mexican parents
But
I
he
know.
would if he wasn't
he
a
would
Nickelodeon.
totally repeat anything you say.
I remember my friends, one of my best friends in high school had a parrot, and it was at home with 4 women all the times. The dad didn't live with them, and that poor parrot, all he did was just scream all day. And when I was younger, I was just kind of like, oh, I guess this pair doesn't talk. He just screams. And then I realized, oh no, you're living with 4 women. Of course, what you're going to be doing. This is like 4
I have
Latina
no
women.
comment on that. I have
It's
no
like 4 Latina
comment.
women. That poor bird, all he would do all day is just scream.
Traumatized.
But it's a fun character that we have. We have a lot of animals on the show. The dog's name is Lalo. Sergio is named after the famous cartoonist Sergio Aragones from Mad Magazine. And
Oh.
Lalo is named after some guy that
That's what I was like, is it named after you?
and then but Sergio's the only one that talks. So he's fully sentient, does all kinds of crazy stuff. So he's a really unpredictable, fun character that does whatever. But talking about pets, we also went through a thing where let's just say the abuela was having too much of a pet moment with Sergio, and I go, you know what? I mean, she likes Sergio, but Mexicans don't generally have pets. You know, they're like, or they treat pets like farm animals. You know, right? Like my mom would always,
Amarrados outside. Right
yeah,
Or en la
exactly. They don't
azotea.
come in.
They don't?
Yeah,
No,
they don't come in the house.
No.
You know, no dogs,
They're dogs.
cats in the house.
Like,
yeah,
they're dogs.
animals.
They're animals.
Yeah, so very practical about that. And my mom would always tell me, don't ever name a pet with a human name. You know, like, okay, I get it. You know, we're not equal. You know, whatever. But that doesn't. So I introduced that kind of. But, you know, it's a kid's show, so we can't, it's not National Geographic documentary. You know?
Right. No, I mean, it's true though. I mean, dogs are dogs, and that's why
In
I think
Mexico, yeah.
we still have
yeah.
conversations like that with my dad today, and it's like, but Dad, like your
Oh
dog.
my God, remember we had like a full-on discussion
we had like a
with
full
my
on
dad?
a full on argument regarding dogs.
Argument, like the whole family, the 6 of us.
This is this is like about a dog, a street dog from Oaxaca. Like, you know, anyway, but we can go on and on about just dogs
Well, what Casagrandes
pets.
is give me a chance to do is to give back. You know, I grew up not seeing myself on TV, and this is a way. You know, I dedicated my whole life to creating media where we can see ourselves.
Yes.
Casagrandes is it's revolutionary, really,
Yes.
to show a little brown face on TV, so that a little
It's just crazy
little
to
kid,
think it's 2020 and you're still revolutionary.
yeah, and kids can see themselves reflected and think that they're normal.
Yeah.
Speech over.
Thank
That's
you
amazing.
so much. So people can find the show every Saturday morning
Yes.
at 11:10 Central on Nickelodeon. I know it's also available for download in iTunes. And you can follow them on Instagram at the Casagrandes and see more content on Nickelodeon's YouTube channel, which is where
Yes.
Paulina gets.
That's where I watch it.
Oh yeah, my Day of the Dead episode that I wrote aired that was uploaded on YouTube during Dia de los Muertos, and it got like 4 million.
Oh, I mean, I
views.
can imagine. That's
You know,
everybody wants to.
It was crazy. So it's really great to have that outlet too.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Well, and then when
thank
can
you? And where
people
can people
find you?
follow you? I know, where can people find you, fight you,
I don't want people to find me. At
fight
all.
you, send
Don't
you,
come-
send
no.
you, send you nice love notes instead of death threats. Maybe you'll
It's
get
nice.
you're going to get a lot of love from the Super Mamas community.
So nice
where
to
can
get-
where can our moms send you some love and some thank yous?
Yes.
Some very much
You know what?
well-deserved thank yous for changing the culture every single day for the rest of the generation, for the next generation, for our kids.
You know what?
It's people like you really that are going to make our kids very empowered.
I hope so.
So
Thank you.
where can our moms
Burn
send you
this
some
place
thank yous?
down.
So where can our moms find you?
You can. I'm all over social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on Twitter way too much.
I do love your tweets.
Thank you.
Your tweets keep me entertained.
Oh, good. I try.
I'm like, you are saying everything I wish I could out loud.
I don't know why
I
I'm
still care too much, I think.
Like
When I say I don't care, I'm like, I don't care. How people say, I'm like, no. When I read Lalo, I'm like, no, I still care.
I want you to care. But you can follow me. Just look for me. I'm out there, or you can.
At Lalo Alcaraz, right?
Yes. Or you can read my daily comic strip, La Cucaracha, in the LA Times, or go to gocomics.com/La Cucaracha. You can have it emailed to you for free.
And
every
where can mom
damn
support you financially? What can we purchase? What can we purchase?
Or the Lalo Fund. My Venmo is. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but do you have merchandise? You have anything where we can support? And
Come to my website, laloalcaraz.com, and you can find
click the donate button.
stuff. Click the donate button now. And you don't have to send me money. Unless I'm trying to sell you a calendar, then you better buy one.
Well, there we go. See, that's good. Oh, I would love to get a little calendar. Are you doing that?
You know what? I have some. I have one
they
right
have
there.
jokes?
Can you grab one right there?
Let me see. Let's show you out this calendar.
Studio
right now.
audience member is a calendar in the
En esa caja de cartón que traje.
Dude. If you whip out a tortilleria calendar out of there, I'm going to be tripping, man.
Oh my God. Okay,
like,
see, this is what moms can buy. Is this on your website?
Yes.
Perfect.
I have a few left, but next year. And I brought one for the mamas.
Oh,
the super
thank
mamas.
you.
I
I love
Thank
this.
you.
We will post. Well, it's okay. We can just take photos and upload on Instagram. People can print them so they don't have to buy them. There you guys go. Thank you
With
guys.
Coach Super Mamas, picture free.
Go ahead, make T-shirts. I'll chase you down
We'll do
until the
a
day you
Super-
die.
We'll do like a Super Mamas imprinted logo on here. Thank you so much for being on the show, Lalo. You're
Yeah, sure.
incredible,
Watch
amazing.
Casagrandes. It's
We will.
hilarious.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Super Mamas. Paulina and Brisa here. We just want to remind you to rate and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher. Follow us on Spotify, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Also, have you seen us rocking our Super Mama swag? Well, we want you to join in. Use promo code SMPodcast at checkout on supermamas.com/swag for 15% off your next order. Again, that's code SMPodcast on supermamas.com/swag for 15% off. Okay, now back to the show.
Actually, we're not letting you go yet. We forgot that we cannot let you go without our little fire cushion situation over here.
Fuego.
And we are gonna keep it PG as well, since it is Nickelodeon.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
We're not gonna hit you with the real ones, because if we did, the three of us would get fired. Okay, let's start with number one. Are you a texter or a phone caller?
Texter.
Texter. Can you imagine? Whoever knew that was going to be a word? Texter.
I don't even answer my phone.
Do you listen to your voicemails?
Not really.
When was the last time you checked your voicemail?
I don't know. 2 weeks ago, because some insistent person kept calling.
Is your voicemail box full?
It is not, because I don't encourage people to call me.
Are you more like dinner and movie person, or just like chill back and relax and cook at home and do nothing?
I like to chill these days, just eat at home. But I like to go to the movies. We're a movie going family.
Oh,
Yeah,
we are too.
When was the last time you took your wife out for a dinner? Movie, a date night? Too long, and you gotta think that long. Come on, dude.
Let me think.
No,
I take her to the movies all the time. So
Okay. Well, speaking of movies, what's the
fancy
last
recliner movie, right?
The VIP.
Speaking of movies, what was the last great movie you watched?
Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, I
You know
still
what?
haven't.
My
seen
brother loved that movie. I
So
still
good.
haven't seen
It's
it.
inspired me. I'm writing my own Jojo Rabbit right now.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay.
My husband watched it and he did not like it. He was like, "Really?" But my brother loved it.
Yeah, my
So
brother.
good.
My brother loved it. Like
said
a lot of
that.
people have told me it was incredible.
It's my brain melted when the music that they play on that movie is just inspired. I was from the moment one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Ooh, good to
and
know.
1917 was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, except they have a bad moment in where they a cultural consultant could have helped them.
Oh.
They had a British soldier and a French woman totally communicating in like this weird bad English and French to each other, and it was like, nah, I don't buy it. I don't care how many languages Europeans speak. Nah, it didn't work.
got
It was
it.
like took me out.
Yeah. Well, and also, what is your favorite book?
My favorite book,
My own.
my own books. Yeah.
My 2020 Lalo Alcaraz calendar.
I just got my son a book, which was actually I just bought myself a book about the production design on Alien. So that's more of the books that
That's fine.
because there's a little known I don't know right now cartoonist named Ron Cobb, who was a famous cartoonist LA cartoonist in the 70s. I think he's from Australia. Came here, did a lot of left-wing cartoons and eco cartoons, and then became the production like a designer on Alien, and designed all the cars, the spaceships, the equipment. And I was like, oh, if I had one more lifetime, man, I would be Ron Cobb. And I would design all this
Not
stuff.
too late.
I studied architecture. Yes, it is. No, I got to build my movie empire.
Did you
so.
see the Super Bowl performance that J-Lo did at 50 years old?
Yeah. Well,
you were just getting started, my
well,
dear.
she does one thing good. She's a great entertainer. We had
you
a whole
kidding me?
discussion at our Super Bowl party about that. You know, like
She just knows. She just knows what people want.
On Twitter, there's this hilarious comedian.
She's 50.
Said, yeah,
I love her.
She said, somebody said, oh my God, J-Lo, she could dance so good. And this comedian goes, yeah, I would dance good too if I could sing. But she's an overall great entertainer.
No, she's
and
amazing.
then
She's
the
incredible.
whole Puerto Rican flag thing was awesome.
The point, we're not going to talk about the halftime show. What I'm saying is, look at her. She's 50. She's just starting a whole new life. You can still do it. I believe. Age is nothing but a number, so you can still do that.
I know. I'm empire building now.
There you go.
Okay, who is your favorite Casagrandes character? You have to have a favorite.
Oh, it's Abuelo, because it's me. It's like I am that character. My lounging around part and like not wanting to deal with people. That's Abuelo. That's me.
That's kind of
my
like
favorite.
my dad too.
That's my
though,
favorite
right now.
He
character.
goes to bed at 4 p.m. sometimes.
Yeah. I wish I could do that.
Dad, remember he just
Oh yeah, he takes a nap at 4. He doesn't go to bed at 4.
He's in bed taking a nap. Okay.
Are you more like a elotes person or tortas person? Kind of if you're looking
elotes
for
all the
for a
way.
snack. How do you order it?
Any form of
Are you more like an
elote.
esquite person? I'm more like with a stick.
I'm more with the stick with everything on it, and then
Extra
esquite
something?
is just that much second place.
You know
It's
what,
the
though?
same.
Like, I'm going to tell you something. I go to TJ, and when I go to TJ, the elotes taste very different than here. I think we're used to the elotes here because they're sweet. The elotes in Mexico are like more savory, and they're harder. So it's a totally different experience. Try one. When you go to Oaxaca, try one.
Last time I tried one in Oaxaca, I got major chorro.
Wait,
Like major. And I was like, first and last time. I'll have mom make one for me.
Yeah, but they're
I got
different.
really
but
bad.
the elotes in Mexico, because they're like, I don't know, the real thing. They're not sweet.
I don't
You
know.
what I mean?
My stomach was not pleased.
I like to order my elotes sin chorro.
Yeah. The ones here are fine. I don't know. Maybe, who
Your
knows?
stomach's used to it.
No, I don't know. I'll have mom make one for me, though.
I like corn in all its forms.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Come on.
Early riser or night owl?
Early riser or night? Both. Sadly, I don't sleep. I bare minimum I can survive on 6. On 5, I can, I'll be dead in 2 days. But yeah, 5 or 6 hours. Yeah.
You sleep 5 or 6 hours a night? Mm-hmm. No.
What are you like? Lucky.
Boy, I'm like 9 hour every night.
She does.
8
she
to
does.
9.
She does. She does.
9.
I go to I get up at 6 a.m. to get everyone out.
So you go to sleep like at what, 1?
And sometimes, yeah. And so
cool.
midnight 1. And then I go to work, and then I go to Super Mama's podcast.
I'm more like an 8:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. kind of person. I'm like 8 p.m. Bye, guys. Good night, everyone.
And then I'm sorry, I'm going through my whole schedule.
Go, please.
And then come back from work at Nick or taking meetings, and then work on comics at night and do my other stuff. And then, yeah.
I guess that's how long you have to work to make it as big as Lalo.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be hiring soon.
I'm sleeping my way through life, I guess.
Instagram or Facebook?
I'm on Facebook too much.
Yeah?
But I'm Twitter.
Twitter.
Really.
Oh, true. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. You're
You
more
are
of
a
a Twitter
Twitter-
person.
you're a
I'm
Twitter
getting
person.
better and better at Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
Well,
your
you
Instagram.
are an abuelo, so that makes sense.
Your taco order.
Yeah,
I'm
how do you order it?
curious.
Taco order.
When you go eat tacos, what do you order?
I like. I'm a boring asada guy, but nothing like tripitas.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
If it's good.
Salsa verde, salsa roja.
Christmas.
Okay,
Yeah,
both.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Love it.
I know that's a New Mexico thing, but I apply it to my life.
I would have pegged you for like a salsa roja kind of guy.
I like roja. I like verde. I would be the worst foodie because I just eat everything. I'm like, I
Or the
don't
best.
discern.
Or the best.
I
Really? But what do you do? Con cebolla, cebolla.
Oh, I'm a cebollero from way back. Yeah, I love cebolla.
Grilled, raw,
Raw. But
cilantro, no cilantro.
cilantro all the way.
So a lot of cilantro, cebolla, limón, pepino, no pepino,
I can
both
pass
salsas.
on. No, cebolla, cilantro, salsa. That's
limon.
it.
That's it. You don't do like a chili on the side.
I've run out of room in this imaginary taco
I just like we just like
with
when
all
we,
these
when
extra
we have
fixings.
a taco. It's like
It's
a
like-
whole.
it's a
It's like
whole, like-
it's like a whole.
Yeah,
and
no,
each
no, no,
bite
no.
has to be built on.
Yeah,
Like
like you put limon in every bite and some sal.
and a little bit of sal.
And you bite
You put
on
extra
it.
sal on it. No
know
different.
what I
Oh,
mean?
and I carry my salt with me.
She
I
does.
am trying
She
to cut
legitly
back
does.
because abuelo here on the salt. I'm also. I had this discussion about vegan food.
Can I tell you the funny story? Okay, go, and then I'm gonna tell you something you're gonna laugh.
Mine
Go
is
for
like
it.
I had someone on my radio show
Uh-huh.
who's a chef and has like a vegetarian thing. But I thought we were going to be talking about how Mexican food is already vegan friendly, vegetarian
Uh-huh.
friendly, and then she comes with the fake cauliflower tacos and the fake jackfruit, and I'm like, I'm not trying to chase like fake meat, making things into. It was spurred by a disgusting video on Twitter about making these like gross cauliflower tacos that were just disgusting. But they're like, what's wrong with cauliflower? I was like, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm not trying to make fake meat, you know? I want to eat better. I want to eat more veggies. I'll have a taco of like, hit me with every kind of fancy Mexican veggie thing there is, but
calabaza.
like get out of here with that fake, like trying to fake me out.
I was at a dinner party in Sundance. I can drop stuff too. And there was this man there, and he was telling me how he just opened a coffee shop in Riverside, I think, and he was just going on and on. A great person. The coffee's amazing. It's not about the guy, and he's like, "Oh, we have a chef on the weekends. We have this like vegan menu. We have vegan chilaquiles." I was like, right. So you mean chips and salsa? And I'm like, because by definition, like I mean, like
Chilaquiles.
chilaquiles,
Sauce
like it's just
and-
sauce and chips.
Yeah.
You mean chilaquiles without cheese? Like I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not really following what you mean by vegan chilaquiles. And he was like, oh, right. I mean, like, what do you mean?
I
Like,
know. Is
like
it
vegan like what? You have chips with sauce and like you forgot the cheese and you forgot the egg and you forgot like I don't understand. I'm not following what you're trying to do with this vegan chilaquiles.
exactly?
Anyway,
Anyway.
what are you absolutely loving right now? Just anything. It could be a book, could be an app, could be someone you're following on Twitter, could be a dish that you just found, could be a cauliflower taco that you just happened to stumble upon, could be vegan chilaquiles. Like, what are you really loving right now?
I don't know. I mean,
A
I
book,
was.
a brush, a shampoo, a lotion.
Something for the heartburn? Abuelito?
Well, I did get a little jar of those. Is it? How do you? Is it the
Mole?
little chile? The little round red chiles, the chipín. Is that what they're called?
Oh, chiltepín.
Chiltepín. Yeah, that's
Chiltepín,
right.
yes.
And I've been a
my
little
God,
bit into
yes. I thought
those
you were going
like
to say like
sprinkly-
moringa or something.
No, chiltepín are so
Chiltepín.
good.
Yeah, they're
So,
powerful. They're
so,
mighty.
so good,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, I've been putting them in everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's been a new thing I'm kind of minorly obsessed with.
Oh,
You love chiles?
nice.
Oh man, my mom makes the best. She brings me like a jar of chiles that she makes.
Oh my God,
I'm
stuff.
gonna tell her to bring you one.
I did eat this. I went to this Marisco's taco place, kind of middle of the road seeming, and oh my God, the food was so good. I'm not going to tell you where it's at, but they had the kind of the chiles, the yellow chiles that were
The chile güero?
yeah, but they're, I don't know what the term is called, but they're like, they're kind of cooked in their and they have another red chile sauce on them, and they're
Salsa macha?
and cebollas.
Oh.
And they're just like condiments.
And escabeche, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. But
Yeah,
it was
so
just the
good.
big whole
Like
chiles.
pickled, kind of. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was like, why have I never come to this place before? That was better than my shrimp burrito I got.
And then the second one last question. What do you wish people will stop doing, or what are you over? What are you so over? Like, what are you done with?
Oh God.
What are you just like, stop, move on, 2020,
Oh,
new
my
decade,
God.
get over
Yeah.
this?
Jeez, I don't know. It's a little esoteric and dumb, but I wish people would stop relabeling Chicano history with Latinx history, or trying to make everything now, revising everything and making it Latinx, and it's just a pet peeve. And I got into an argument with an ally supporter about it, and I think we just dropped it because we thought this is going to turn into World War III. But I'm writing a thing about the Pachuco era right now.
Oh, nice.
And
Are you calling them Pachuquecs?
somebody was kind of saying, look at what happened to all these poor Latinx people. I'm like, these are all Mexicans.
Yeah.
The whole thing was about anti-Mexican hatred. Why are we erasing that? Why are we, so in my way, the Casagrandes, trying to boost, and label and clearly say, like, I mean, I grew up with people saying Mexican was a slur, so this is why I go crazy when people say, like, stop talking about Chicanos and Mexicans. It's like, no, like, I grew up people telling me that was wrong and negative, and I'm never gonna, and like people
So
that argue
powerful.
about, like, oh, Mexico is an evil state and you should never claim any. It's like, come on, man. It is what it is. Mexico is Mexico, and let's enjoy it. There's so much beauty, diversity. You can be a Oaxacan American if you want,
Or just
Yes.
a Oaxacan?
or just a Oaxacan, and it's okay. But you don't have to, like, crap on Mexico.
Yep.
Plenty of people already are cheering for that.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much for being
you know
here.
who.
I think you do a lot, and I'm so thankful for having you
Thank you,
here.
I appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much for creating a space for our children to feel proud of who they are.
Yes. For us to
And
feel
for
proud of
us
who
to
we are.
feel great about our skin color, our heritage, our culture, and learn more about our history. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the work you do.
De nada.
Hey sisters, thank you so much for listening. Hope all of you guys are subscribed to our newsletter. If you're not, make sure you hit that subscribe button on supermamas.com. We will be sending out invites to upcoming events, promos, and super cool surprises your way. And of course, you can always keep up with us through the gram at _supermamas, and on Twitter also at _supermamas, and in el Face at Supermamas Podcast.
Oh, one more thing. We want to hear your Super Mama moment of the week to share with all of you sisters. Call into our hotline, 424-329-3707, and leave us a message, or simply email us a voice note to hello@supermamas.com. Very soon, we could be featuring you on the show. Please remember to leave your name and Instagram handle for a chance to be featured.
Much love, and
See you next week, Super Mamas!